you will be molested.
Then, as of this moment, they're on double secret probation.
God damn it, are you fucking with me?
Don't just stare at it, eat it.
Stupid! You're so stupid! You're
And welcome to the Opie and Anthony program. The One virus spreading across America thanks to XM Satellite Radio. Getting more gooder every day, right, Anthony?
Oh, that's what I hear.
We got huge news, and we couldn't be happier. I must say, I think XM Satellite Radio is starting to see it our way.
One of the goals we have been looking for since we got here. Finally.
Quite honestly, we let it be known that we didn't want to be on the premium channel from day one. We hated the idea.
Yeah.
But I think because of our reputation, with the whole Sex for Sam thing, people honestly thought that we were I don't know, two devils.
A little dangerous.
Sure.
For general public consumption, something like that. A couple of, maybe some higher ups going, we can't have them on the platform. Harumph. Put them on a premium channel and keep the riffraff away from the general population. All right, sir. Harumph.
But,
I can get a harumph out of you.
But, we went for it. We said, okay, we want to be at XM Satellite, so we'll do it your way.
Yeah.
And everything at the company, I guess we've told you guys by now, works at a snail's pace.
Mm-hmm.
And but today we got some good news to report. We're going to be off the premium channel in like 30 days.
That's it.
Something like that. October 2nd? October, Jesus. That's
October.
Hello.
Ouch.
Might be all that Tylenol PM I took last night.
Ooh.
I'm under the weather big time today.
Aren't we all with this snow? Gotta tell you.
Hate to be on top of the weather. You wouldn't have any atmosphere to breathe in.
April 2nd, Anthony. April 2nd.
April 2nd.
April 2nd.
This isn't one of our April Fool's jokes, is it? Oh, well, you know how we are.
Do you understand we haven't been able to work in April Fool's in 5 or 6 years? Since the famous... I think we've only been on the air one other time since our famous April Fool's prank.
Yep.
When we told Boston that the mayor of Boston died in a fiery car wreck while on vacation in Florida.
Yeah.
But, April 2nd we'll be off the premium, and we'll be available for the entire XM platform there.
So anybody that has XM that's maybe driving around and maybe they're in between popular songs that they enjoy, they can switch around and all of a sudden just land on us and hear this show with no knowledge of us whatsoever. That should make for some more interesting phone calls that we used to enjoy when we were on regular radio.
Yeah, because quite frankly, we're sick of everyone just kissing our asses.
Right. Yeah.
That's the biggest surprise about going to satellite radio. When we were doing this at WNEW and we were syndicated to, close to 20 cities.
Yeah.
Of course, when you're available to everybody, someone's going to stumble upon you.
Of course.
You always get that phone call from the soccer mom that happens to be in the car with her kids, and she happened to have her elbow hit the dial, and it changed the channel to us.
I was driving, and my young son is in the car, and I stepped on the brake, and I had a prop gun on the dashboard, and it fell onto the radio. I remember that old gag, people?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, very old indeed. And I heard you talking about a boobie.
Yeah, so? Now they just kiss our ass.
Yeah.
We need some of that anger.
They're out there.
I used to
Guys, shut up and play the music. Could you just shut up and play the music?
Remember when we used to play songs? You get that one all the time.
How about this one? Baba Booey, Baba Booey. I got you right. Why aren't you falling for it anymore? I used to work in 1989.
That was good.
But, yeah, so that'll be fun as well, Anthony.
Uh-huh.
And there's more details about the rate hike, but... But I can't print the email. There was a whole bullet point thing they wanted us to talk about, and I can't print the email. There's
bullet points? What are we at, Hot 97?
That's terrific. That's terrific.
Got audio from Hot 97.
Robert, I swear I'll blow this nigger's head all over this
Oh,
town.
my.
Wow.
Are you insane?
How did Blazing Saddles clips show up over there at Hot 97?
Well, a lot of people have questions about this new move for the Opie and Anthony program, and we can't really answer them right now because we don't have that email that we need to have in front of us. So
That's all right.
Eric, what, the printer's messed up today or something? Or we can't get into our email? We can't get into our corporate email? Is that today's problem?
Can't get to the printers.
Can't get into the printers.
All in one printer.
They're on the fritz, huh?
On the fritz.
But today it's all about being positive, Anthony. This is
Right.
very exciting for the show. This is what we wanted from day one.
More gooder.
And I think I got to thank the listeners. They made us quite popular.
Mm-hmm.
They made us quite popular.
Opens us up to millions of people. Isn't that great?
Yeah,
like that.
now there's no holding back.
Yeah.
And we'll be able to now turn a lot of people onto XM satellite radio. You watch.
Right.
You watch. But as far as questions, what this means to you and your current plan that you have, I don't know. I think there's a way of locking in to the current rate right now or something like that.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, but I don't have that in front of me, so until we get the printers fixed, I don't want to confuse anybody.
1, 2-year plans, 5-year plans that you could lock in the price you're paying now.
Right. This show is all about listening for a while, getting hooked. That's why we call it Spread the Virus.
Yep.
And it's kind of been a drag because we've had nothing but faithful listeners listening so far.
Yeah.
And it's hard to go, hey, man, you got to listen to Opie and Anthony. Even with people that already have XM satellite radio, because it's a hassle. It's like, well, I'll listen to them on the way home from work. Well, no, you can't really listen to them on the way home from work because you don't have their premium channel yet.
Yeah.
What premium? Well, you have to call them and then
Call what?
Yeah, you got to make it as easy as possible for people. So now that we're going to be on the whole platform, you can tell your buddies that have XM but don't happen to have the channel, hey, listen to Opie and Anthony, check them out. And then that person will get hooked, and then eventually that person will turn someone else onto it that doesn't even have XM satellite radio, and that's how it works as far as a marketing strategy.
Next move, our move to Channel 1. Can we
One?
do that? Wouldn't that be good? Channel 1.
Channel 1 stinks.
Yeah, but if we were on Channel 1, imagine that. You turn your radio on, and there it is.
I want to be
Channel 1.
I want to be Channel 69.
I get it.
Because we're outrageous.
That's a sexual thing.
Boy, yeah.
That's a sexual thing.
You're incorrigible.
But we're very, very excited today. We have 30 days left, and then, then we're going to be open for everybody. So that's going to be really cool.
Look at some of the confusion on the phone.
I know.
Like Brian from Huntington.
Brian
That's
from Huntington.
just plain confusion.
All right, let's
and misconception.
Hey, Brian in Huntington, what's up?
Hey, guys, what's up?
Hey.
Hey, Opie, this is your DAB intern, Brian.
Oh.
Hey, Brian, how are you, buddy?
What's going on? What's up? So I kind of think this is a dangerous thing for you guys because, now you're off premium. If the FCC comes after satellite, before you could have said, well, if the only people who want to hear this have to pay an extra step, So now, it's not Michael Powell anymore, but the next guy, when they come after you or after XM, that's one less security buffer for you guys. What do you think?
Hey, Brian, you interned for me at BAB, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're not in radio anymore, are you?
I'm doing other stuff now.
Yeah, obviously. You're a silly boy. You're a very silly boy.
Come on, my buddy.
So there's no FCC and satellite radio connection?
I know, not now, but, in the future might. I think when you were at the Viper Bar over the summer, there was some petition to keep the FCC out of satellite.
Yeah,
so I haven't checked up on it.
It would be very hard for the FCC to regulate satellite radio. Very difficult indeed. It's a pay service like cable television. It's a whole different animal than broadcast.
And plus, if the FCC it's like the premium wouldn't really help because once you're paying. You can't say to the FCC, all right, well, people are paying twice. Once you're paying, you're paying. It's like cable TV. It's like cable TV.
That's it. It's not the public airwaves that have to be protected and used to serve the public interest. This isn't it. It's a pay service that you're you're getting, you're asking for it, and that's it.
And if they can't keep nudity off HBO, you know that they'd love to do that. They're not. This is only language. If they can't keep nudity off cable, they're not going to keep language.
Yeah, quite frankly, your pals Opie and Anthony and Jim Norton, we're not worried about it at all. Is what it comes down to. Brad, what's up?
Hey guys, if I buy a prepaid package for 5 years, what are the chances you guys are going to still be there if you have equipment problems every day like this?
Well, I think they heard us loud and clear yesterday because there's a whole team of experts coming up to New York to make sure all the bugs and gremlins are out of this studio.
A team.
Yeah.
Yeah, they took us very seriously yesterday, and that's cool. There was a lot of ass-kissing yesterday after the show. A lot.
Yeah, well, let's hope so, because I've been hearing, you know, you guys having problems since day one, so I've been with you ever since the beginning.
Nah, we'll be fine, Brad. We're going to be
all
here
right,
for a
buddy.
while. Thanks.
We're not going anywhere, brother.
I mean, when it comes down to it, this is the better satellite company, simple as that. I mean, we have growing pains and all that, but, you know, we've only been at this for 4 or 5 months, so we've got to give it a little more time. And they are setting all the experts up, and my God, how uncomfortable was it yesterday after the show, all the ass-kissing that went on.
Ass-kissing?
I have a feeling we're doing quite well for the company.
I think so.
We're doing quite well because...
I was at home for that conference
How old
call.
are you?
Some people think I'm 12, yes.
I was at home for that conference call.
You missed the conference call.
I noticed you didn't talk very much.
No, because that was my strategy yesterday.
You were pretty quiet yesterday.
That was my strategy. And you notice they were trying to engage me the whole time. And I'm just
I heard that.
And I'm like, yeah, good idea. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, that was pretty much your contribution.
I
didn't say much more. I had one, line that I figured would, make them believe that I was paying attention. Like I had a little, a paragraph worth of stuff that I just kind of blurted out so they could go, oh, at least Anthony was listening. Hoping they didn't hear the shing, shing from my computer. The cards being dealt. Ching! Then the applause when I went, yeah!
We're like idiots savants, you know that?
Without that savant.
Exactly.
Without that pesky savant getting in the way.
We really are, though, because we know we're really good at what we do, and we've heard everything before, and we're just like, we'll yes them back to death, you know?
I don't have to listen to a conference call.
I didn't feel like using any energy on that conference call yesterday.
No.
I knew I was coming down with this stupid, congestion in my chest, and I didn't want to be bothered.
Ben was working it.
Yeah, Ben was really good on the conference call.
I felt bad for him. He's really working it, and I'm just sitting there playing poker online.
You notice how they were trying to engage me?
And
they were trying to engage me, and I was giving them one-word answers. Yeah, Because a lot of the stuff they said, they've said in the past. At this point, we need action.
Yeah.
No more talking. I want to see action.
Yeah.
Because we've heard it all before.
Yeah.
We've heard it all since we started here. It's time to move forward.
Do you think they knew something was amiss when I said, goddamn straight, I had trips? I curse.
Will you clean up the show now? No.
What?
No.
Who the what the?
No.
Uh-oh, that's going to be, I'm sure there'll be a lot of threads on that one on the message board. Oh, they're going off premium. Now they're going to clean up the show. Shut up.
Will you still be on webcast? I think so.
Yeah, I think that's part of the package now, too. Remember, you used to have to pay extra for the web?
So online streaming will be for free?
Yeah, you get on there and...
Huh?
All included.
Didn't it used to be $3.99 a month?
Yes.
So now, all right, so it's fine.
Uh-huh. Exactly. Let's see. April 2nd, XM Expanded Basic will include the Internet service XM Radio Online, which offers more than 70 channels of XM Music and Talk programming, previously $3.99 per month. You get that added in now.
What is the rate increase? Do they know from $9.99 to what? Do they know?
It is going to be $67.50 now. No, kidding, of course.
Plus $1 per team on the Major League Baseball.
No. We
not.
don't want to confuse everyone.
Of course not.
It's
$12.95.
$12.95. Okay.
$12.95.
Well, not to mention the buyback thing. If you already have this, if you have a long extended plan and you join before the second, you get a certain buyback. But if you join after the second, they're not going to give you any kind of refund because then you don't have the premium, original package. And then there's going to be some kind of a Major League Baseball, like a surcharge added onto it. So it's actually going to be pretty simple, But you have online streaming. But if you prepaid,
oh my God!
I'm just being a dick on purpose.
XM's also offering existing customers the unique opportunity to lock in the current $9.99 monthly rate with 1-year prepaid plan and deeper discounts for 2, 3, 4, or 5-year prepaid plans until April 2nd. There you go. So hop on that.
All right.
But they're moving.
But it's exciting news for the program. We wanted to be off the premium, and now we're finally going to be off the premium April 2nd.
Did you see
it will be available to everyone that has XM
yesterday?
satellite radio. Yeah, the stock went up like $4 or something like that.
Yeah. What if Chauncey Hayden had an inside line on that one, you fucking idiot? Jackass.
Don't say the F word.
That's right.
They told us we can't be
off the that'll be written now. Did you hear Norton said they told them?
He whispered. It got through on the mic.
It got through. I know he wasn't supposed to say that, but it got through, and he said you're not supposed to curse.
You guys, let's say hi to a friend of a friend of the show, Sean Hannity. Sean.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Mr. Hannity.
So that was really you I was IMing last night?
Yeah, it was really me.
Well,
That's the last time I call you friend, by the way.
Which friend?
Because you were giving me a hard time about it yesterday.
Oh, no, because Sean's like, I said to my audience that my friend's Opie and Anthony, and he got shit for that.
Yeah.
We could curse here, Sean. Sorry.
A little bit.
And then in the IM, I'm like, well, take care of my friend. And he's like, oh, no, man. I'm like, hey, like it or not, we're all friends. We might not completely agree on everything, but you're a stand-up guy.
Hey, listen, congratulations, by the way. I'm on XM, but I hadn't gotten, just because I've been lazy, I wanted to hear your show, and I just hadn't gotten the upgrade, so now I don't have to.
There you go.
Yeah, April 2nd is...
You know, by the way, that was stupid anyway, I think.
Yeah, we weren't big fans of the premium, believe me. It's kind of nice now being on the whole platform, and anybody that wants to check us out, we're there, available to them.
And we got another big announcement, and it's good that Sean Hannity's on the phone with us right now for this one. We're going back to Afternoon Drive in New York City.
When are you going?
Look it up.
Now, wait a minute. Can I take from that statement? I'm here all these years. You guys were ready to go up against Howard Stern.
Right.
And so Howard is about to leave in January.
Yes.
And I think the big test for Opie and Anthony is going to be, if you went to Morning Drive in New York, do you carry Howard's number? I mean, that's the test of a lifetime. We've already gone down this road with a little old dumb old Sean Hannity. So I think that's the test. No.
You just want us out of Afternoon Drive.
I don't really care.
We used to compete against Sean, and it was a fun little battle because we had. I thought we had different audiences, but you were telling me last night that there was a lot of people that would listen to both programs. I guess, huh?
You know, it was funny when you guys were on Hannity and Combs, and when you were on my radio show. I was surprised at the number of people that said they listened to both of us. Because I'll be honest, when you were on NEW, I never really thought there was a lot of crossover because you guys had a much younger audience. You guys did very, very well in Afternoon Drive, especially on a station that had absolutely no ratings except when you guys were on.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't think there was a lot of crossover. I didn't view you as my competition because we do very different shows. But apparently there were a lot of people that listen to both of us.
Yeah, there you have it. So you've been having a lot of fun with the Ed Asner thing, huh?
Hey, first of all, thanks for sticking up for me. This guy has really just gone over the edge. I don't know what it is about him, but he sort of has something against me. And, when Rush was having his troubles, he was telling Mike Gallagher privately, well, Rush is just the beginning. Our goal is to get Sean Hannity and take him out. We're going to find a way. We're going to find something on him, and we're going to bring him down. So I appreciated you guys sticking up for me.
It's just so personal with these guys. Like, I know I have pretty conservative views as far as my politics go, but I know I could be in a room with people with liberal views and not take it so personally and actually have a conversation with these people. But people like Ed Asner, they just want people with views like yours and mine just wiped out, just gone. They don't want that view to be heard by anybody.
No, they want to really silence people. I mean, if you go back to when you guys were in trouble over the Sex for Sam thing, well, one of the things that kind of amazed me is, and this goes to Bill Maher's comments, these go to Chris Rock's comments. I mean, we now live in a society that if you say one thing that is deemed out of line in any capacity, that people now want to just pull this trigger and silence you and shut you up for the rest of your life.
Right.
It's like when Congress gives a speech on the floor of the House of Representatives. If they ask, Mr. Speaker, I'd like an opportunity to revise and extend my remarks, they're given that. But if you say something, if you do something, you're not given any chance anymore in this politically correct environment we live in.
Right.
You can't revise your remarks. You can't even apologize for your remarks because your opponents, those people that don't like you to begin with, they just want to totally, completely, and utterly silence you.
Yeah. Ruin your career, everything. That you should not work anymore.
You shouldn't work anymore.
Yeah.
I think, too, it seems like if you say something that's out of line, but the asterisk is if it kind of goes against the ideology of the left. If you say something that's anti-church or anti-ideology of the right, people are much more forgiving. But if you attack one of the left's, dogmas, then you're pretty much finished, especially in show business.
Yeah, well, it's funny because if you look at when Bill Maher made his comments about the military, remember that a couple of years ago?
Yeah. Of course, yeah.
All right, Bill Maher makes these comments. The people that came to his defense were people like Sean Hannity and Rush Limbaugh and conservatives. And what we were willing to do was open our minds and look at Bill Maher's total career. Bill Maher, throughout his career, and at the time I hated Bill Maher. I didn't want to defend Bill Maher. But Bill Maher, throughout his career, had always defended the military. And it's like because he didn't say something exactly the way he meant it, people wanted to kill him.
Right.
There were people that didn't ever want to see you guys ever work again.
Yeah, still.
And, well, you guys know because you lived through it, I think. And I think you learned a lot. You knew about Sex for Sam and all that stuff. But I don't know. I think these politically correct times, I think we've got to stop. I think we've got to give people an opportunity. I'll give you an example that I recently used on my show. Charlie Rangel, who is a Democratic congressman, probably one of the funniest guys I've ever met in my life, he recently said something that created a bit of a controversy, and it was deemed as somewhat racy and racist and stuff. And I said, wait a minute, I know this guy. I have sat in the studio with this guy. I know people would like me to just use this as an opportunity to hammer him and silence him and shut him up. But I said, I'm going to be consistent because the next time a conservative says something that's out of line and you hear me defending him, well, I just want you to remember that I also defended Charlie Rangel.
Right.
So
people kind of forget that, though.
Hey, Sean, are you going to play any more of the Ed Asner tape today?
I didn't hear the whole tape, but you were telling me, Opie, yesterday that you guys had said a lot more to defend me, and I appreciate it. I'm going to try and play more today on my show. Yeah.
Well, there's one part that's just flat out funny because we call him really boring right to his face. Jim Norton was there, and it was very uncomfortable.
I'm much more conservative than I am on that tape. I was groveling and throwing Ope under the bus and completely agreeing with Ed Asner. Ed Asner actually said that the media was conservative. Like ABC, CBS, which is just ludicrous. But of course, I didn't have the courage to tell him that.
Well, he's a pretty bitter, angry guy.
Yeah. Then him and I went at it. He said he would never do our fucking program again. Wow. And then
that's what I want to play. I'll obviously have to beep it out. This is not satellite radio.
Yeah, I understand. And then I apologize. I'm cursing in front of you. But then Jim Norton says goodbye to him after the show, and he goes, what did he say? I like you, but get rid of that fucking wasp.
Yeah, I said goodbye to him. I just, I told him how much I enjoyed his work on Mary Tyler Moore, blah, blah, blah. And then it was just funny. He hugged me. He said, get rid of that fucking wasp. I'm like, all right.
But you got to admit, I've had him on the air a couple of times, and every time after he's on, he calls back for the next 10 days complaining about how mean I was to him.
Really?
Because what he does is he always steps in it, because, of course, I just open up the trap door and let him dive in. And then his liberal friends tell him how awful he did later, and then he's upset that he came on the show. So
backpedal, yeah.
It was very fun and very uncomfortable out there in L.A. when we had him on. So
when did the left turn into a bunch of whiny babies? I mean, when did that happen? They used to supposedly stand for being anti-establishment and being tolerant of opposing views. And now they just turn into a bunch of kvetching hens. All they want to do is catch you in a verbal misstep, and that's what the whole left seems to be about in the last 15 years.
It's funny, though. If you ask the average person, they seem to have this perception that conservatives are like this. And I know you guys have spent a lot of time on the air talking about the FCC. I don't want the FCC to control anybody. I mean, notwithstanding, I don't think you should be able to curse on the radio or use those 7 words or whatever. But beyond that, if you're not going to spell out in detail what it is that people can and cannot do, for example, on the radio, I think people have an option. They can reach over, pull the channel, and go to another station.
Right.
But for some reason, it's really, if you look at the people that want to silence other people now in the debate, it's the left wanting to silence the right, but they have this perception that they're more free speech oriented, and they're really not in any way.
Mm-hmm. How about the one thing, though, is it seems like most of the complaints FCC-wise come from the Parents Television Council, which I would probably say is much more of a more conservative group, and they supposedly made up about 99% of all FCC complaints.
Yeah, they did in that one particular from Janet Jackson on down, which frankly shouldn't have happened considering you have a young audience. There's got to be some consideration in the public airwaves that there are young people that are watching shows like the Super Bowl.
Right.
There are so many other options out there for racy material like HBO and pay-per-view and all this other stuff that in the basic broad channels, Janet Jackson doesn't need to have a wardrobe malfunction. Mm-hmm. But again, there are so many other outlets if people want that choice or want that option. From a left-right standpoint, I always argue that while we get lectured a lot of times by the left about being pro-choice, when it comes to your right to defend yourself and have a gun in your home to protect your family, the left is standing there right in front of the door to prevent that from happening. Yeah. They say they're pro-choice, but then they'll never let you choose a school where you can send your kids to, and they force your kids into these failing schools that are just destroying the minds of the kids. So, I think actually conservatives are more open-minded than people really give them credit for. That's why we got Anthony to vote for George Bush, but we didn't pull Opie along this year. And don't think I haven't forgotten Opie.
I'm getting there, Sean.
God, you pissed me off this year. I tried my hardest. He was in studio for an hour, and I begged him just about to vote for Bush.
You guys did quite well. I didn't want Kerry either, so I was right down the middle.
So who'd you vote for?
Nobody.
Oh, you didn't vote?
You didn't vote?
Shut up. You didn't vote either.
I know that, but you're expected to vote.
Absolutely did.
No, I'm not talking about you, Sean. Jim Norton is trying to throw me under the bus. I know he didn't vote.
Now, Anthony did vote.
Yes, I did.
My biggest surprise in meeting you guys, and honestly, I was really surprised just how politically aware and issues aware you guys were. And Anthony, when you told me you were conservative, it blew me away.
Yeah, I just can't stand the thinking of the left. And believe me, there are kooks on both sides. I know that. I've seen extremists on both sides that, it's hard to tell the difference between them. They're so far out there. But, I just cannot relate to some of the ideas coming out of the left. Sorry.
Listen, we know what I don't understand. This is kind of basic stuff. We first met on September 11th.
Right.
Because we both had to broadcast from WLIR out of Long Island because we weren't allowed to get into the city that day because the city was shut down. Mm-hmm. And what I don't understand is, and I don't care if you're left or right or center or middle or liberal or communist or socialist, you ought to get one thing, that when somebody kills 3,000 of your friends, your neighbors, your loved ones, your coworkers, even Americans you may not like, but when they kill a part of your family, if you don't understand that it's now your job to track those animals down, find them wherever the hell they are, and destroy them before they hit us again, then I don't know what's wrong with you. And there are literally people, I think, in this world that don't understand that these people think that there are virgins in heaven awaiting them the minute they kill us, that they get rewarded for this. And I just will never understand the mentality that doesn't understand that we've got to go out there and get those people.
I completely agree with that, Sean.
Keep the pressure on them. That's right.
So what's the big topic today on the show?
I don't know. I just woke up. I took my dog out, and I wanted to make sure I called in.
Hey, Sean, how the hell are there, 115 casualties in Iraq, that line of people waiting to take a police test?
To take a what test?
In Iraq, the line of people that were waiting and the car bomb went off and killed like 115 people yesterday.
Yeah, look, Iraq is what can you say? It is a horrible situation.
I just don't understand how you get that many people that you know are a target, and there's where's the security? Where's the security that a car can pull up in front of people that, they're government workers. They're applying for government jobs, so they are enemies of the insurgents. Why isn't there better security over there? That seems to be the biggest issue.
The biggest problem has been the training of the Iraqis in their own defense. Yeah. And it's just become an ongoing problem. With that said, if you look at the Kurds in the north, if you look at the Sunnis in the south, if you look at 90% of the actual landmass of Iraq, it is secure, it's prospering, schools are open again, commerce is working, everything is going pretty well. What you're really dealing with is a small 10% of the landmass population known as the Sunni Triangle, where all of this insurgency is taking place. You have two elements there. You have a stronghold that was left over from the old Ba'athist regime of Saddam, and then you have these insurgents that have basically invaded the country from areas like Iran and Syria and elsewhere.
It's a party for them. Yeah.
And they're part of Hezbollah and Hamas because they want to fight this battle there because the Americans just happen to be there.
Right.
So it's just a difficult situation. It's a war, and it's something that the only solution you have is you got to go out there and win it. And at times I don't think we've been aggressive enough, frankly.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen with just horrible Europe? Are they finally going to step up and do something? It seems like now they want to be part of the reconstruction.
No, I think Europe. You've got a pretty unholy alliance between Vladimir Putin, who makes this horrible deal to give the Iranians what ultimately will be the world's undoing, which is nuclear technology, in spite of the president. I think the president should have been stronger with Putin. You have Iran, which is part of the axis of evil. And look at, for example, France and Germany leading up to the conflict in Iraq. It took us to get into Iraq, win the war, to finally discover that the only reason that they wouldn't even enforce their own resolution 1441 was because they had financial interests with Saddam Hussein in Iraq, and this was about billions of dollars for them. This wasn't about any type of principle. I just think, here we paid for their own liberation. They'd be speaking German if it weren't for Americans shedding their blood. But when it comes to the liberation of other people, they were nowhere to be found. It's kind of sad.
They're one big happy family over there now with, America as the bad guy. So, they could rally around and all be chums and pals with their spending their euros together. But I think the bottom line is they don't like each other, and they cannot keep the peace over there.
Yeah, well, there's been this discussion, and France has led this more than anyone, Jacques Chirac, is that they view the United States as too powerful, so Chirac has been trying to create a coalition among Europe to sort of be the antidote to the powerful United States. I don't think it's ever going to work.
Good luck.
It seems like a lot of this anti-American sentiment started after the fall of the Soviet Union. Like once that threat of the Russians kicking their faces wasn't there anymore.
But you know what's amazing, though? If there was ever a situation where I don't know if there's an analogous situation that were to arise, but if there ever comes an enemy like an Adolf Hitler, if we ever have to battle forces of fascism or Nazism or Imperial Japan, they'd be the first people, crying for U.S. blood to be shed in their defense again.
Absolutely. Jesus.
So it's kind of pathetic.
Kind of.
All right. Sean.
What's that?
Good one. What happened there?
The delete went out.
Oh, the delete went out. We were going to play your theme music. We were going to wrap this up all nice for you, Sean, and our computer crashed. I had your theme music all queued up and everything.
All right, listen, go cause trouble. That's what you guys do best.
Well, the Sean Hannity Show could be heard on XM 124 today, Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m.
All right, guys. Hey, good to talk to you all. Congratulations on the new deal there.
Thank you, Sean. We greatly appreciate it.
All right, guys.
All right, there you go. Sean Hannity, everyone. That was hilarious. We're looking all smooth.
Just craps out on you.
That was pretty cool, no?
Yeah.
And Sean Hannity, I think, is going to play more of that Ed Asner tape today.
He's been a big supporter, man. Ever since the show got the boot, he has been a big supporter.
Which was one of the big surprises, because everyone else just threw us under the bus. And
he's like the last guy, you would think.
Everyone had their big laughs when we got thrown off the radio, but he stood up for it.
The guy really is, and it's odd that you would see somebody on the right like that and as conservative as he is. Although he does have an open mind. That's a champion of free speech, more so than a lot of other jocks that like to yell that on the air. The guy truly is, to come and support a show like ours,
right?
After what we did, you got to give him credit for that.
I was arguing with him online a little bit, and I was basically telling him, dude, I'm a moderate. And he goes, well, what do you think I am? I'm a moderate. Like, no way are you a moderate.
He is one of the more open-minded guys, on the right, definitely.
But I guess he's obsessed with Ed Asner. Ed Asner's obsessed with him. So when he found out that we went after him in L.A., he's like, "Oh, get me the tape." But he didn't know about the part where I basically told Ed Asner he was really boring.
Yeah.
And I think he might play that today on his show.
Ed Asner's not going to win that argument either. Ed Asner is never going to.
Doddering old fool.
He had a guy on one time. You remember they were talking about the Republicans were suppressing black votes in Florida?
Yeah.
He had a guy on. I think one of the guys who had created that whole ad campaign or the sign. The guy had done something to perpetuate that myth, and he had this guy on and was just pinning him to name one voter who was suppressed.
Right.
And this backtracking ass couldn't think of anyone. Well, no, but we know what goes on. Just name me one Republican that did it. We'll get him out of office.
When you just watch someone backed into a corner and they can't get out. It's brutal. It's like a beating.
It really was like just watching somebody cornered and just physically savaged.
That's great.